An ability to control your levels of stress in real time is extremely powerful. It turns out you can do this using physiology and neuroscience. Your breathing can directly impact your heart rate and your level of stress or calm. Here's how it works. When you inhale, your diaphragm moves down. This creates more space in your thoracic cavity, and your heart actually gets a little bit bigger. As a consequence, the rate of blood flow through that larger heart volume slows down. In other words, inhaling speeds your heart rate up, exhaling slows your heart rate down. So if you want to speed up your heart rate and be more alert, inhale more or make those inhales more vigorous, more intense. If you want to calm down, you can do that quickly by making your exhales slightly longer than your inhales or making them more vigorous. This doesn't require any breath work. This is something that you can do in real time. And that's what's called respiratory sinus arrhythmia. That's the technical phrase. It's also the basis of what's called heart rate variability, or HRV. But all you need to remember is inhaling deeper and longer will speed your heart rate up. Exhaling longer and more intensely will slow your heart rate down and will allow you to calm down in real time.
It's a very uncertain time. A lot of people reaching out, talking about how they're struggling with their anxiety, depression, uncertainty. Yeah, I know we're getting fucked with. Okay. So if you feel that way, I want you to realize that a lot of people feel that way, and it's not you. It's not you're imagining shit. The whole world's being fucked with right now. Understand that, this is going to get better. I don't have the answer as to when, but hopefully soon. The best thing that you can do in a time when you feel like you're highly stressed, high anxiety, uncertain, is to get control of the things that you can control.
When you lack confidence, that's where these feelings come from. When fear creeps in, that's when insecurity creeps in. And that affects your anxiety levels and the way you think about yourself and the actions that you take. So the first step to curing this is understanding that what you put in, you will get out. What you put in, you will get out, okay?
It's a strange time we're living in right now, where people from the countries that have the most feel like they have the least. People that live in countries that have the most reason to be happy seem to have the least amount of happiness. Why is this? Is it comparison? Comparing ourselves to everyone who has more in this social media world we live in? Never feeling enough because another will always be better in some area? Comparison is the thief of joy.
It's never been a mystery to me why people are depressed. It's never been a mystery to me why people are anxious and unsettled. People deal with very heavy burdens in their life. There's far more to you than you think, because it turns out that you have substantial problems, genuine, deep problems of malevolence and suffering. But that if you decide that you will take that on as your responsibility, dark as things are, there's more light in you than you know what to do with, and there's more light in you than you can possibly manifest.
You just want to step out of it, to step out of the whole race, the whole business. The monstrosity of being alive overwhelms you.
If you have depression, if you have anxiety, if you have post-traumatic stress disorder, if you have any kind of mental health condition, this is not something to ignore.
Depression, frustration, anxiety, pain, disillusion. It's just a natural part of the process of becoming a stronger version of yourself.
When you are depressed, you don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to be bothered with anyone. But overcoming depression is going to require that you get up and engage with life again. When you are feeling down, the worst thing you can do is isolate yourself, because isolation actually intensifies sadness. So I recommend finding a distraction that will shift your energy.
Never ask for advice. Never.
Never ask anybody for advice. Never ask for help. Never ask for any guidance. You have a compass inside of you that's already set to guide you where you need to go.
Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us.
Beginning in my early 20s, I began to notice some of the symptoms of mild depression. For years, I struggled with worry, anxiety, and feelings of hopelessness. Whenever I experienced a minor setback, I would be hard on myself and I would become extremely discouraged. For some reason, it was hard for me to believe that I could get through difficult situations. I know from personal experience that depression has a way of transforming a typically happy and outgoing person into someone who is sad, withdrawn, and frustrated with life.
With depression, one of the most important things you could realize is that you're not alone.
I've been places and someone has said, well, you lost an arm and a leg, so you had a right to be depressed. And I stopped them. I was like, depression is real.
No matter what you're going through right now doesn't mean that it's not going to end. I think too often we think about the stresses that we're dealt with right now, and we think that there's no light at the end of the tunnel.
All that you can see is darkness, and everything that you try to do just kicks you right back in the face, and you just can't seem to get yourself up.
I want you to know that no matter where you are in life, no matter how low you have sunk, no matter how bleak your situation, this is not the end. This is not the end of your story. This is not the final chapter of your life.
Life is hard. Life is challenging. There are ups and downs.
And these challenges that you face, they're going to do their best to take you down. Do not let them.
Of course you have to work. Of course you have to show up. Your team needs you. Life needs you. Your family needs you. Life is for the living.
Depression is not only normal, it's essential, and be grateful for it because it allows you to reorder yourself at a higher level.
You might feel discouraged. You don't have to be discouraged because brighter days are coming. Because I always felt alone in my battle, I didn't realize just how common depression was. I had no idea that 1 out of 10 people will experience depression during their lifetime. Do me a favor. Check on the people who are close to you. In most instances, the people who appear happy and appear strong are rarely asked how they are doing because people assume their lives are perfect. You may not have considered this, but sometimes the person who is smiling every time you see them is privately battling depression.
It's hard to put into words, honestly, and it feels different at different times. When my anxiety is high, it feels like an absolute inability to make decisions. Like I would rather not do something than decide what to do. And it's almost paralyzing, which is odd because it seems like it's simple. Do you want to go on a walk or sit on the couch and watch TV? And I'm like, I can't figure that out. I don't have the brain power. It feels like decision fatigue. And then depression is different. My version of it feels very restricted, like if you're trying to put on like a latex glove that's way too small for your hand. Because the reality is we're not all born the same. Some of us are born with a ton of confidence, and then some are born really timid. And I just feel like, maybe this is just my maternal instincts talking, but I just don't want anyone to feel like they don't have a support system. So if we collectively as a society, like self-care, this whole idea should also include caring about each other. You know, it has to obviously be on the person to identify the feeling and say, I need help. But then I think it has to be on the people around them that love them to say, okay, let me see if I can support you, even if that's just checking in once in a while.
Every single day makes a difference. Every day I choose if my future will have more light or more darkness. I choose that in every moment because I choose what I do with each moment. I choose how I respond to every challenge. I choose how I plan my day.